Hello, everyone. It is June 27th, Thursday again. It seems like Thursdays go really fast for me. Do they for you?
Oh, yeah.
I have a special guest here today, Rachel from Rachel Ann Quilts. Is that what it's called?
That is, yeah.
All right, and we'll be getting to Rachel in a minute, but I just wanted to introduce her to you. I'm super excited about her being here, and I can't wait for you to hear about her business. But before we get into that, and I also want to tell you, there's not going to be works in progress today. I feel like I want to dedicate this whole thing to Rachel here, and we'll do works in progress. I want to say next week, but we're off next week because we're all going to be, Jess is over there celebrating with hands in the air that we're all off on Thursday. Yeah. So we're all going to be grilling out and boating and all that fun stuff, or watching fireworks and hanging out with our families. I hope everybody has something planned for that. But let me go through a couple announcements here. We have July 12th and 13th. We have a summertime sip, sew, shop, and stay. If you are interested in coming and hanging out for 2 whole days and an evening for a special $200 price. We have some openings yet in that, where you just work on your projects and have some fun and don't have to cook. So it's a really nice deal if you want to join us for that. And then we have Bernina Education, and that is August 8th, 102, Embroidery 102. So that is 9 to 4. So if you really want to know how to run your Bernina embroidery, come for that. I should be in that class, just so you know, but I probably don't have time. So, and then of course we have Debbie Maddie coming August 21st through the 25th. I really want to fill this class. I'm a little nervous about it. We're not going to be able to pull it off. We don't have a lot of students in it right now. So if you want to make sure that we keep bringing fun people here to the gathering, please sign up and come and do things with Debbie Maddie. Dyeing. I took it when she was first here. It is so fun. I believe everybody should learn about textiles and how they're dyed and all the different ways to manipulate them. And it's just so cool. And Debbie in herself is a treasure. So come hang out with her. She's super fun. And then we have rug hooking workshop. So that is August 26th and 28th. And then a second session, the 29th through the 31st as well. All that information is there. Teresa Kogert is coming October 17th through the 19th. We have limited numbers of spots left in her class, 6 spots left. So there's a ton of people there. And you all know Teresa does above and beyond for her students. You are going to love being in one of her classes. So just remember, 6 spots left in that. And then we have Friday, October 25th and 26th, and that is a finishing class, right? Workshop fee. All right. Where does it say what it is? Get inspired. Do you see that on there? Okay. Yeah, it's a finishing class. How to finish your punch needles, how to finish your cross stitches. She'll show you what to look for, what to shop for, how to get inspiration with that. And then November 15th and 16th, we have my buddy Linda Hershka coming to teach her awesome custom long arming. And then we have the coat class. There's just so much buzz going on about this coat. So we have some 25 dates for you. That means 2025. January 13th, February 28th, or March 28th. And those are all spots for that class. All right. And they're 2-day classes that you stay overnight at. All right. All the details there for that. And don't forget about our blue and white quilt show. I love it when people tell me that, oh, I just put the binding on my blue and white quilt for your show. So we love to showcase your quilts here at Primitive Gatherings. We give unique prizes, and it's just beautiful to have your quilt displayed here at the gathering during our Primitive Christmas event. And then we have some Bernina Social coming up July 8th and August 5th. Sit and Stitch, our next one for that is July 16th. I'll just go through these quickly, Kaylee. July 10th is Wool Club. Cross Stitch Club is July 10th as well. Stitchers Gathering with Joanne is July 15th. And Featherweight Club is July 8th. All right. Record announcements. That's my favorite part, right? Because it seems to go on and on and on about all the things we have happening here. All right, so I just want to talk a little bit about how we met, and then we'll get into you and your story, or you can talk more. But so okay. I get this, I think it was an email. Was it an email? It was an email. And it was, hey, I am Rachel from Rachel Ann Quilts. I just opened a shop in Little Chute, and I would really like to get together with all you shop owners in the area and just get to know each other and see what's going on, right?
Yep, that was the gist of it.
Basically, that's what it was, right? And then I proceed to show up.
Thankfully,
it's on a Sunday.
Yep.
And I'm the only one there. Right?
You were the only one.
And what did you say to me? You were the last one I thought was going to come.
I thought you were so busy. There was no way in the world that you would come, but I wanted to reach out anyway because I just want to get to know the shops and build that sense of community.
Right. And I'm all about that, right? So that's one of my things, because I believe that you opening a shop in my hometown, Little Chute, Wisconsin, it's not going to hurt me one bit. It's going to just make us all better in this area. So I wanted to check out your quilt shop, and then you proceeded to tell me what you were all about. Right?
Yes.
So what do you want to tell us?
Well, you can see right behind us here, I love doing memory quilts, taking people's memories and turning them into quilts that are heirloom pieces they can treasure forever. In fact, the one behind us, this mother had saved these shirts from her daughter for 30 years because she wanted a quilt so bad, but she didn't know anybody that could do it, didn't know how to go about it. And then she came across me. She was in tears of joy when I finished that quilt.
Because t-shirt quilts are not easy.
They are not. And it's not just t-shirts. We've got jerseys in here. Yeah, there's a bunch of t-shirts, sweatshirts.
And photographs. I'm sure you do photo quilts as well.
I do have some photographs. I have some sketches that people did that I have printed on fabric. So we have an example of that here as well. So yes.
Because I could imagine, even me being a quilter, if my family member wanted a quilt, I'd be like, I've only made maybe 2 or 3 in my life, and I don't want to ever make another one again. It's just too difficult for what I want to do, and too putsy, and too, just for me. And I know some people thrive on that, and they're really good at it. And maybe how you do it, you have that technique down. So the reason why I asked you to come on today is not only for the local people that are in the area to find out about you, but why couldn't they send you their bag of t-shirts from wherever they're from?
They absolutely could. I have actually had quilts that have gone to other states. I've had one go all the way over to France. So yeah. So you can say I'm an international quilter already.
There you go. Yeah. So do you want to give us a little bit of information about, maybe your background, like how long you, like what you did before, and then I'll keep asking you questions. So start off with, how you came to be the shop owner.
Well, I begged my mom at the age of 4 to let me sew. So she sat me down in my little yellow booster seat at the kitchen floor and gave me a rag and drew X's and taught me cross stitch. And I fell in love with it. Fast forward till I was about 10, a neighbor lady dropped off a bunch of scraps that were pre-cut, and they were all this itchy polyester material and all these fun colors. And I said, Mom, can I make a quilt? She's like, oh, Rachel, that's a lot of work. I'm like, please, I'll finish. So she taught me to sew on my great-grandmother's treadle sewing machine, the kind that you have to pump with your feet to make it go. Well, I finished that, but they weren't squares the lady dropped off. So some went this way and some went this way. And as you can imagine, my rows, nothing lined up, but Mom helped me figure it out. So I kind of took a break. And then it was when I was about 14, I again asked for all the red, white, and blue scraps that Mom had. And so this was my very first quilt that I made start to finish from the scraps. At that time, we didn't have rotary cutters, so we were tracing the template, hand cutting with scissors, and then again, using my great-grandmother's treadle sewing machine to piece this entire quilt.
I think we should show it. Everybody should have their first quilt on the internet.
And, and so this was originally a tie quilt. And then I took it apart 2 years ago, and I actually then machine quilted all the layers together.
That's even interesting that you can do that. So just because you might have tied a quilt because you didn't know how to quilt it, it can still be repurposed again.
Yep. So that's when I really fell in love with quilting, was at the age of about 14 or 15. Okay. And so then I didn't do much sewing after that until I think I made a little baby quilt when my first son was born. And then when we moved up here shortly after, one of the teachers unexpectedly lost her husband. And I overheard someone telling her, you need to clean out his closet. I'm like, oh, I was horrified. I'm like, he just passed away. Why would you say that to her? I'm like, I don't know her. And then I'm like, Rachel, you know how to sew a quilt? People make memory quilts all the time. And so I was too nervous I didn't want to upset her. So I talked to the lady in the office. I'm like, do you think she would like this? And she mentioned it to the teacher, and the teacher loved the idea. I thought, oh, he's older. It'll all be button down shirts. That'll be easy. No. We had t-shirts and sweatshirts, and we had fleece, and we had blue jeans and khakis, and like the whole gamut of materials. And I'm like, well, I can't give this back now. I have to figure it out. And so I did the research, and I made my first real memory quilt. And she just loved it. She said she would wrap up, and it felt like she was getting a hug from him. And it just made her cry. But then as she went through that grieving process and started to heal, it would bring her joy and laughter. I'm like, that's how I fell in love with memory quilts.
Yeah, just that whole idea and the comfort that people get.
Yes, the joy that it can bring them.
Yes.
And so then a couple of years ago, I went for a walk with a friend, and we were talking about, oh, what's your dream job? And I'm like, memory quilts. That's what I would do for my dream job. And so she called me that night. She's like, I have a lady that wants 4. I'm like, no, you don't. She said, yeah, get your stuff together. So I'm like, sure. Well, they called me the next week. They need 8. I'm like, what? 8 memory quilts? So then by the time I got everything in place, it ended up being a dozen memory quilts. Was the very first order.
One person.
For one person.
Wow,
yep.
That's pretty cool.
And so that's how we got started. I did it a year in my home, and then in October of 22, we opened up the shop in Little Chute.
All right. So you've been, and give us the information for your shop.
Yep. So we being myself and my volunteers, are in the Main Street Plaza in Little Chute. We're located at 127 East Main Street. I'm up on the 2nd floor. Unfortunately, there's no elevator, but we do have stairs in the front and the back of the building. So get your exercise and come and quilt.
Do you have a website or anything like
that?
Yep,
I do have a website, Facebook page, and Instagram.
Okay, and tell us what those are. Just right there.
Yep.
Okay, RachelAnnQuilts.com. Perfect, perfect. All right, so we want you to, if you're out there that you be like me and be like, okay, I'm not making a t-shirt quilt. This is your woman. All right?
Yes.
And anybody who wants to take this on, to me, that's some pretty heavy lifting there, because we all know, or most of us know, what this entails. So yes. Awesome. So you brought some for us, I bet.
I did. Yep. So this is a sample that I have hanging in the shop, just to give people an idea of what it can be. So this, we have t-shirts in the center, and then you can see we use bandanas, just a great way to add some color in there. Then we filled in with other parts of a t-shirt. And like these right here are leftovers from these t-shirts. So you can make other designs in them.
And I love that this is not like trying to be somebody's bed quilt. Like it can be a piece of artwork that they would display as well. So not all memory quilts have to be big, big quilts.
You can make them double-sided. So this has an entirely different look. You can use the blue jeans and the button down. There's sweatshirts in here. You can do different designs with it, or just simple blocks. You can put your sashing in between blocks or around it, or you can just have them next to each other. There's so many styles that we can do.
We'll just lay them down here.
Okay. So now this one here that I'm going to show you next was a graduation quilt from this year. They just had their party this past weekend. So
did you have to get it back?
They brought it back to me just the other day.
Wow.
So in this one, we're celebrating.
This is 500 pounds.
It is heavy, with the flannel combined with the batting and stuff. So here's the one we were talking about. This was a sketch someone had made for the young man. All the players on the team got this sketch made on paper. And so we got permission to then print it on fabric so that it could be incorporated in the quilt.
Yeah, show the bottom half.
Yep. And then here, this is stats from just some of his achievements while he was in high school. You can see our stitch pattern. The long armor that I use is Jenny Patterson from Cattail Machine Quilting. She does all of the long arming for me. And so we chose a design that represents the footballs, because this is his entire football career.
Wow, I'm impressed that they could quilt over this.
These were sleeve designs on here.
Yeah,
yep, you can see that's a jersey.
Yeah, that's that heavy, like layers of plastic, kind of that ink.
So and you can see that here, this one, you know, you have the neckline of the jersey. So we just took material from the back or the sides and filled it in there, just so that you can still see that beautiful color and recognize what the piece is.
Awesome.
So this one here is a family quilt. My favorite square on the whole thing is this square right here. I don't know if you can see the close-up. Oops,
Which
let's
one?
get this out. Right here, this ends where. This was his little 2-year-old button-down shirt. He wore
Aw.
it all the time, his mom said. It had the little collar on. She said he always wore it with khaki, so I was able to find some khaki-colored material to just highlight that. This one is
Wow.
very, very organized. Everything is in rows. Because of the various sizes of some of the shirts, I lengthened the middle row so that we could accommodate the prints. As you can see, none of the prints are cut off. Like if you go to some of those online t-shirt quilt makers, they just have a specific block size and that's it. Because I do everything custom,
yeah.
we can adapt to make it fit whatever
Really,
they
this is
have.
so heavy.
Again, it's flannel on the back and all the sashing in between, that's also flannel. And it adds such weight to it, but it makes it wonderful for snuggling. Now this one is a dance quilt, and it is double-sided.
Double-sided, wow. Look at how fun this is.
So just
It's so happy.
all of their fun shirts from all of her dance career.
And then the back?
Yep.
Same
so we'll
thing.
have to switch this
here.
way to keep it right side up. And the
So
beauty,
look at the fun different sashing ways, putting them all together.
Yep.
And then sometimes having sashing in between.
So that we
Very
can
cool.
accommodate the different size prints. And we had just a little too many. We brought it out to the border just to make sure we incorporated everything.
Anything works, right?
Yep.
Look at that.
And the best part, my favorite, is when I give it back and the moms all write their own special label to their kids.
Nice. And you make them sew it on?
Nope, I sew it on for them. They just have to write
You want
it.
to give them a lesson?
If they wanted one, I gladly would, but most of them are no way.
P.S. Your mom sewed the label on.
This is a single-sided one. Everything is just touching. There is no sashing in this, so block by block. But you can see that we do accommodate, like sometimes that printing is all the way up to the neckline. And so in order to balance it across there, I just take some from the bottom and add it up top just so that you can balance the look of it.
Super smart.
So,
I wouldn't have thought of that.
now this is probably my most favorite. I say that with everyone that I finish, but this one is made out of the gentleman's uniforms
Oh my gosh.
from his 25-year Air Force career.
Wow.
So the only thing on this quilt that is not his uniform is this row of border, just to kind of
So the whole thing, here, let's go halfway. So this whole thing, look at all of his badges and everything. That is such a great.
Yep, all of
spot.
his name tapes go
Does
around
he-
it.
Do you know if he uses it on a bed or is it on a wall?
He just got it back, so they haven't really even used it yet.
Oh,
So he saw
wow.
it, and then he had to bring it back so I could bring it on your show today. But
That is so
yeah.
awesome.
so that is the memory quilts. There's so many
Right.
styles you can do.
All right, I'm sure they're all just chitter-chattering in this feed here. Of course, we're always going to give away prizes today, so please keep commenting. But wow, isn't that great? Isn't that a great idea? So do you have any, like if you could give us one trick that you learned to do this, what would be the biggest trick that you think will help somebody if they want to do one for themselves?
So if I were only to give one tip, it would be don't cut your shirts until you put the fusible interfacing on the back of the shirts. You need to stabilize those stretchy knits. Like these uniforms were stiff, so I didn't have to stabilize these.
So if it has a lot of body, you don't need to.
If it's more of a woven versus a knit fabric, the wovens you don't necessarily have to stabilize. These knits in the jerseys, you want to stabilize them before you trim them.
Is there a favorite fusible interfacing that you like?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
It is one of the most inexpensive. It is the Pellon P44F fusible. It doesn't need,
P44F.
yep, it doesn't need to be heavyweight. It just needs to be something to give it some stability.
Okay, good. Because I think that would be the hardest thing is like,
Yes.
and I love the tip about you don't have to do anything that has a lot of body to it already.
Right.
Because this is one of those windbreakers.
Yeah, this was
This
his
is a
windbreaker.
windbreaker.
Yep. So that one I didn't have to stabilize. And like I said, these uniforms, they're a woven fabric, so they didn't need the stabilizer.
All right, yeah. So isn't this so interesting? So when nobody else showed up to our little meeting, I said, Rachel, let's go to the coffee shop and let's just hang out. And I don't know, we must have talked for what, about an hour or two?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
even
so.
know. It was a long time, but I just really, really wanted people to know about you, where you are. And she, like she said, she isn't upper building, and I think that was the building where the old bakery was, right?
Yep, the
Yeah,
bakery was
yeah,
there, the
yeah.
old shoe store. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's fun for me to go home to see all how my town has evolved all these years. But yeah, I'm just so impressed with what you do and that you keep doing. Do you have any regular anybody who comes to you? What if they come to your store? What are they going to find?
They will find a little tiny quilt shop that has a nice big work table that takes up most of the shop. They'll find I have about 70 bolts of fabric. I have some pre-cuts in there. I have quite a few notions. We have our notion that's a Christmas tree with all these notions, fun notions hanging on it. We do have some tables up there. We do a free open sew on Fridays and Saturdays. People have to register for it so we can reserve because we're so tiny. I only have room for 8.
Mm-hmm.
I do have my own workspace and then my back workroom, but
okay.
tiny.
So I just thought of this. This idea just popped into my head, Jessica. You might want to listen to this. If we have some interest in teaching this to people, would you
Sure.
come here and do that for us?
I would gladly do that.
Because then we're not limited to 8.
Correct, because if we were doing a t-shirt quilt class, I have to limit it to 4 or there's no room to spread out.
Okay.
So
yes. we have lots of room here at the gathering for you. So we'll keep that in mind and see if we can drum up some interest for you for that, because I'm sure there are lots of women out there who have not made the quilt yet, and the bags of t-shirts are still hanging around.
Yes.
But I just love the whole idea of not t-shirt quilts and calling them memory quilts.
Yeah.
Because then you can incorporate other things besides t-shirts.
Yep.
Right.
I even had one where I wasn't able to get that back for today, but where we took the front of the baseball hats and then made it into a square, just because it has
cut
the
out
emblem.
the bills on the top part of
the front part of the baseball hat, and then was able to add it onto a block and incorporate it into a quilt, just because it has those memories.
Quilt over that. Oh my gosh.
Yep. Yeah.
That is amazing. All right. Do we have any questions for Rachel Ann? Okay, Heidi.
I've been taking them down here.
All right.
You talk about teaching classes. You do,
Yep.
and you're
So you could go to Rachel's in Little Chute to take her class there. However, I think that if we can find enough people to have you come here, I would love for you to get that exposure here as well.
Okay. Do you sell fabric in your shop or just make t-shirt quilts?
I do sell fabric, but I only have about 70 bolts. So if you're looking for that odd, unique thing, I'm probably not your place to be. I can carry more of the basics so that they can be incorporated in the t-shirt quilts.
Yeah. So just so you know that when you're a small shop and she's found her niche, she's got to grow, right? She can't just have 2,000 bolts of fabric right off the dot. So she's building, right?
Yes.
And we want her to grow, and we want her to be a part of this because we really think that this is very important. And that's why I'm like so excited. I'm like, will you come on? Because I love this different stuff like this, and finding you to me was like, okay, I got to tell everybody about her because these are amazing. And I know what it takes to do this. So, all the planning, so I hope you charge enough.
We can always double the prices if anybody wants. If they don't think I charge enough,
make sure you pay enough for this, because it is a lot. Yeah,
It's actually funny you said that, because the next question is, can you talk about the cost roughly?
So what
ballpark?
How do you price?
That was the most challenging part about starting the business. So I kind of did a time study of how long does it take to do each quilt. So if you're talking about a twin size quilt, it probably takes about 25 hours to do that. Then you have the cost of all the materials, and I'm not using low grade materials. I'm using quilt grade materials. So these are a nice heavy duty flannel that I'm putting in the sashing and in the backing. And then you have the cost of doing the special stitching. I don't know if you can see on the camera that this has soccer balls is the stitch design in it, just so that it adds to those memories. And all of that adds cost, but it elevates your quilt and just really ties in those memories. So all of those pieces are part of what makes my quilts heirloom pieces. And those costs, so you're looking at probably about, I don't know, $800 or $900 for a lap size, and you're looking at, like, I did a king size that was double-sided, and so that's around $3,000 for a double-sided king, because basically you're making 2 quilts and you're
Right.
putting it together.
And these are one-of-a-kind treasures.
Yes.
So
It's not something you can go to Target or Walmart and buy.
right, yeah.
This is custom, unique, just to you.
Right. And when you explain that to somebody, like how long it takes for them to do it, and I know that I don't want to do it, so I would be willing to pay $800 or $900 for something like that. You know what I mean? To have that done. So, but I'm sure you get some people where they are not prepared for that type of cost.
They're expecting to pay Target quilt prices
Right.
for something that's custom and unique and a totally different.
Right. And how is your spiel on it? Almost have to be educating them, right? Not just.
It is. So if I just tell them the price, they shake their head and they walk away. But when I explain that double-sided king took probably 60 hours to make,
Right.
you know, and
tell them, what do you get paid per hour?
well, that's just it. Sometimes
Yeah.
I say, well, what do you think is a fair wage for people to make? You know,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
they're like, oh, you know, and they give me their price, and I'm like, well, I don't even charge that. So this is, you know, and so
right, yeah. So yeah, I'm not going to be charging you $25 an hour, but you know.
Mhm.
I get it. So that's got to be like the elephant in the room sometimes, is like when it comes to how much the stuff costs. Because I'm sure if they don't ask, you know, and they at the end, but I'm sure you must tell them kind of what to be prepared for.
I want them to know, because I don't want to go through and waste all of their time if it's not something that's in their budget.
Yeah,
so
and I probably like tell them really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, not like after you've gone through everything.
Yeah.
But like, what is your turnaround time? So like when you get this, you know.
Well, right now my lead time is booked out. I'm booking at the end of August right now.
Okay,
so
good. Yeah.
You know, it all depends on how many orders come in. Yeah. But usually I planned for the shortest would be 6 to 8 weeks, just because it takes time to do the math. Math is not my strong suit.
Yeah,
so the math to get everything to line up and come out, it takes several hours.
And if you ever want to be humbled, try writing a quilt pattern one time.
That is true. Yes. Yeah.
So it does take a lot of time and planning, but they are gorgeous, and I'm just so proud that you found your niche in this community, and I hope that you get support from it, and I'm trying to do my best to let everybody know about you.
I appreciate it.
And I really like, if you need anything at all, you know, you have my number, and thank you for coming on today, and I really am happy for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Lisa.
Okay. Thank you so much. Isn't that great? Do we have any more questions? Okay. All right.
Okay. So I'm going to do a memory teddy bear out of Western shirts that are all cotton. Do I need to stabilize them?
I would say yes. I just made a memory bear, and it was cotton shirts, but I like to stabilize them just because when you're stuffing it, that puts some pressure on those seams, and by having that stabilizer in there, it will just make it last and hold up better.
So you just said you just made a memory bear.
Yes.
So you do bears as well?
I do.
And pillows?
And pillows, yes.
Okay, because sometimes just getting grandpa's shirt pillow with a cute little patch on it that says, you know, I'm, you know, when you remember me, or when you want to
put any kind of message.
So I'm sure you have some embroidery capabilities with that.
Yeah, and if you look, it should be on that top corner there.
Yep, I see it.
Right top corner. We can also right here. We can print labels as well. So this is printed on fabric. I was able to design it, and it just has, this particular one just has his information from when he served. I asked him for his enlistment and his retirement photo that we incorporated.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I was able to just put in the 25 stars and add the Air Force logo in there. So we can do that with just special sayings, like if Grandpa had a saying he always did, we can incorporate that on there.
I knew
if you don't have
his special saying was just one more.
Just one more. Yeah, so we can incorporate the sayings on there. We can just take a photograph and we can make pillows from that as well. So,
all right.
Yeah.
What kind of stabilizer do you use?
I use the Pellon P44F. That's one of my favorites.
P44F.
Yep.
Pellon.
Okay. And what do you stuff your bears with?
I use the fiber fill is what I use.
Okay. A couple more here. Do you have tutorials on making a memory quilt if you have never made one?
I do not yet, but that is on the docket for this fall. We're actually starting to record in 2 weeks. We have the dates set up.
Good job. Good job.
Okay, one more here. I'm wondering if Rachel would be interested in traveling to teach at a guild.
I would love to. I actually have a couple dates that are already booked, and that would be something fun.
Cool.
And then they want to know if Lisa's doing a project with quilt. Where that came from, I don't know.
Yeah, there's some. It's not highest on my list right now, but
I think there's just been some chat of that, and so people heard you, and they're still wondering when.
We met up at market, and we're just in that tossing around idea phase right now. So yes, I want to do some pre-cut things. So
that sounds exciting.
Yeah, so because some people struggle with cutting.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can mass cut for them using the AccuCut, which we already do, and have them do some custom dies for me. Are you familiar with AccuCut?
Yep, I already have some custom dies that I had created there.
Yes. All right. So wasn't this fun today?
Yes.
All right, and we will, like I said, we're going to take a break next week, and then we will be back the 11th, and we'll do works in progress on 11th. So we'll show you all the fun stuff that's been going on. We are going to talk. Do you want to come on and talk about something? Oh, I think you should come on and talk about what a little bit about BU. Okay. All right, dear. You're off the hook. I'm going to bring him in, and we will. Hopefully, your phone will be ringing off the hook. So Luke just showed up. So might as well just bring him on, right?
Good.
Yep.
I definitely won't bring my coffee over here.
No, don't bring your coffee over here. All right. So you were not here for your
No.
You're live because of weather issues again. We had a big storm go through. My brother had 4 trees fall on his property, total out his truck, put a big hole in his house.
Yeah.
Tornado.
Living in the country is not all it's cracked up to be all the time.
No.
It seems like sometimes you're kind of on your own. We had a tree fall, and which is not the first time.
No.
Every time it storms, I lose power, it seems like. But we had a generator this time.
Yes.
So that wasn't the
your
issue.
mother's generator.
The problem is when I tried to leave, the actual wire was down and across the road. So I pull up in my truck, and I'm like, nah, probably not worth that. So yeah, so BU was pretty exciting. And I know that they talked about it on our live. Well, I wasn't here, and you came on and talked a little bit about it. Yeah. But we had for those of you who don't know, we had some pretty cool surprises. And we all were excited about this 990, which is a machine that, for some people, it's just not they're not interested in a $23,000, embroidery machine. It's a spaceship, and it was cool, and it was everything. Yeah, it was everything we hoped it would be. And the people,
it does look like a spaceship.
It is. And honestly, it's incredible. I have to show you the video of Jake actually putting the hoop through. So the hoop is so big that Jake actually put it. Did I show you that video?
No.
So Jake actually put the hoop through and step through it or whatever. It is pretty cool. We'll have to use that for something. But the 990 was cool, and we were hoping it was going to be amazing, and it was. But it's crazy to say, but another machine actually, I feel like for us anyways,
for me, for sure,
stole the show.
Yeah.
And that was the Bernette B08 straight stitch machine.
Yay, they made one for Lisa Bongean.
And, when it first came out, I was like, yes. And then I saw it was a Bernette, and I was like, no. And then I thought about it for a second, and I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So there's a bunch of rules, surrounding Berninas. They don't want you shipping those, through the mail, the new ones anyways. But the Bernettes we can ship. And the machine is made in Japan, and it is everything I hoped it would be from a straight stitch machine.
Jake said Thailand.
No, I think it's Japan. I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure it's Japan. I'll have to look at the back of the sticker. But anyways, it is 40% bigger bobbin than a
Yeah,
Juki.
so the bobbins are about this big. Not quite like
Yeah.
a long arm bobbin,
No.
but nowhere near the normal size.
They said, so like if a normal bobbin is L and a long arm bobbin is an M
M.
size, what they said is this is a 1.4 L
Okay.
as the
They
designation.
say 40% more.
Yeah, and it's all metal, and
Yeah.
it's that sort of long arm style.
Right. And it's hard not to compare it to the Juki.
Well, let's not lie about
Right,
it or whatever.
no.
I mean, the fact is the Juki was a benchmark.
Yeah, I mean,
you
the
know?
Juki was, you'll see them all over the
You
place
know, it's-
because of what it does.
If Ford releases a Mustang, it's hard not to talk about the Camaro,
Right.
right? Obviously,
you gotta
know,
compare them.
that's
yes.
how progress works. And
Right.
they benchmarked the Juki and I imagine some other similar machines, but bigger bobbin.
And it's no lie, I have been sewing on a Juki for 30 years.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's how I get stuff done. So, how do you think I love the machine that stitches even faster than my Juki and has everything I need there, plus more, and everything a quilter needs, and then some.
So the major things. Yep.
Question
Yep.
for you.
Yep.
It's on the screen.
Okay, so we've already started because this was a huge deal. Let me tell you a little bit of the history before this. So I saw this machine at BU, and I went to work to try to get one of the 12 machines that, from my understanding, there's only 12 in the country right now. So I went straight to the top, and I was, begging and asking. I said, listen, this is what we've been waiting for. Let me take it home. And the final day, they let us take one home. And then you showed it on Sunday. We landed on Saturday. Jake set it up for you on Sunday. And we had about a dozen people order it right there at
so
the,
half the people that were at my red, white, and blue retreat,
after seeing it in person, they wanted it.
They wanted it.
So to answer the question, what we did is we were like, okay, we got to do a pre-order thing. So how it's working is we have up till August before they open the orders. So no one can place an order yet until August. And then on mid-September, they're gonna be shipping what we order in August. So I thought what we're gonna do is we're gonna open a pre-order. So we have it on the website already. You can go and add it to your cart. And we're doing it two ways right now. So $200 deposit will place the order for you. But we're filling the orders in the order in which they're paid in full. So right now, I think already we have like 14 or 15 people. And those people are paid in full. So they will get theirs like, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then after those are shipped, then we go in order of the deposits. And if you don't answer your phone, I'm going to go down the list because this thing has been pretty popular. Mm-hmm. So if you want one of these, the best thing you can do is to get on the website. And it should be on the homepage, I believe.
And we'll do a video explaining all of everything way before that August deadline, too.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, here are the cliff notes of it.
Yeah.
It's bigger than the Juki. It's faster than the Juki as a comparison, right?
So I was going to ask you this. Does the bobbin run independently of, can the bobbin be winding a bobbin? Or is it, you know what I mean?
So
there was a button for that bobbin. I don't really know what that did.
Yeah, so we'll have to spend some more time on it, but I believe it's independent.
I think that you can run a bobbin at the same time you're sewing.
But you have an independent thread stand with 2 spools. So you can run one up to the winder, but I don't know the thread path. I have to look at it.
Right.
It's a brand new machine. We've only had it for a little bit.
Yeah, we were playing with it, so.
Yeah, but we are super excited because it is smooth and it's fast and quiet, and the thread cutter is...
Yeah, that's what I like best about it. It's got a good hum to it. Like sometimes my Juki sounds like a train, all right? But this has a really nice hum to it.
And that thread cutter is similar to
very similar.
It's just instantaneous.
Yeah.
One of the things that bothered you about the 7 series is the 7 series, when you hit the thread cutter, it's like a process. It's going to raise the press. It's going to do a bunch of things.
It does a song and dance before it cuts.
Yeah, where this one is like an industrial machine. You hit the button and it cuts. And then not only do you have the button on the top, but you have the foot pedal has an additional thing that you can put on that operates that thread cutter.
So the foot pedal's this big.
Yeah, it's cool.
And then it has a really low profile. So it's not like this. It's not like that. It's like really nice low profile. And then you can put the thread cutter on either side of the thread cutter. of the foot pedal. So if you want it like a
It's like your
gas and
clutch.
brake, or you want it on the clutch position, it
Yeah,
can be
yeah,
in
yeah.
any of those positions for you.
Yeah. So we're going to be taking orders. We're going to be taking pre-orders. If you want this, I highly recommend you pre-order it because I think it's going to be a machine that we sell a ton of.
Right. And I love the fact that we can service them.
That's the other big thing too, is even, you know, we're not, Jake and I, we didn't go to Juki school.
No.
So when you have been selling these, you know, you had a previous whatever,
Yeah.
and we know, you know, Jake knows how to service this machine. So for the local people especially, but we can ship them and we'll ship them for free. So the deal is you go on, you order it, you get your number, and the first ones are going to be shipping with your choice of 2 accessory kits, which is the other thing we really like about this machine as well, is they have an incredible selection of useful feet. And I mean, the Juki, I mean, I've only seen like the 1/4 inch foot. And
you have to buy you have to buy the ones
Do
you
they
really
make
need. They make a 1/4 inch foot for the Juki, but it's an add-on purchase.
right. But
on most
do they have like a
models.
quilted, like different quilting feet and
Yep,
different? Okay.
those come with it. Yep.
Okay, so this one has, like, for example, the one I would recommend is called the Quilt Maker Kit, and you get this for free. And this is going to have like your open toe stippling foot. It's going to have your ruler
Your
foot.
1/4 inch foot.
It's going to have your 1/4 inch foot, your zipper foot that you can use as an 1/8 inch for paper piecing and
Yep.
like things like that. It was described to
I
me.
don't know if the zipper foot's in the quilting one. The zipper foot
Is it
might
in
be
the other one?
in the sewing one.
You want both of them,
Yeah.
you know, but I know that the initial orders you get one for free, and you know, with Bernina, like, it's not cheap, right? So the accessory kits, if you can get the free gifts, you definitely want to do that. Let's see.
It doesn't have a walking foot.
It does.
It does.
Yes.
It's an attachment.
It's an additional thing,
Okay.
but they will have a walking
I didn't
foot.
see it. Yeah.
Yep. This is brand new, so we were
But
looking through.
the best part about this machine is from one side of the feed dog to the other side, 1/2 inch.
Is it?
1/2 inch. That's how it's perfect for sewing what I sew.
So they're really close together.
They're really close together. Yes. So that to me is the best part. And yeah, I measured it, 1/2 inch.
So that, I mean, BU was amazing. You know, there's some long arm accessories. It's always a good time. Detroit, I won't be sad if we don't have to go back there again. It's a beautiful area on the.
Well, I know they're really improving it.
Yeah, it just was kind of a weird, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a whole separate live. But anyways, is there any questions about, what do you got?
All right.
I didn't write it down. I mean, they're pouring in so fast I can't,
What is the width of the feed dogs?
There you go.
Like I said, 1/2 inch.
So I don't know if you must have measured. All I know is that they're as close as I've ever seen.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
close.
I'm like,
It's a
holy
straight
crap.
stitch only machine. It only does one thing, and it does it really, really well.
Mhm.
When we did the demos, if you saw on the Facebook group, Jake and I did a couple videos of it going through that 21-ounce duck canvas. I don't know what it's like. Really tough.
So for bags, if you're a bag maker, this is the machine for
And
you
like
as
this
well.
thing is crazy. Like the stuff you can jam under the foot is, you wouldn't believe that it would be okay
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do, honestly.
They did
like
12 layers of duck fabric.
yeah, like, and it was like, are you sure?
How
And
much does it weigh? I think it's about 30 pounds.
it's, yeah, it's a little bit heavier. It's a little bit bigger, and it's a metal beast in there. So it's not going to be, I mean, it's not like a 7 series or whatever.
It's
It's
not
going
a
to be,
lightweight machine, but it's your workhorse.
It's
It's,
a-
the
it's-
one you. I mean, you're not gonna. You know.
it is a little bit heavier, but it's still, and it's got a good throat size, but it's still more of a compact body style
Yeah.
versus like a 7
It doesn't
series,
look
which
like
is,
it weighs 30 pounds.
you know, a 7 series is like this long and this wide, and you know, so this, you know, I think you could manage it, but you know, it's a heavy duty machine. It's not a plastic Bernette like
No,
the
nothing
academies
plastic
or
about
whatever.
it at all.
Yeah.
Really, really well made. Matter of fact, somebody might have been putting her Juki feet on it. as
No,
well.
so I do not believe it's got its own separate set of accessories because of the fact that it is a 1600 stitches per minute.
Yeah. So your other Bernina feet.
It's
won't
not-
work on
yeah,
it.
it's
you
not-
need really high.
It's a different
yeah.
hook system.
Yeah.
It's a whole different system. Not that I have seen yet. I don't think it has a BSR, which would be pretty cool accessory. We'll have to look a little bit closer in the. They only had the machines there and then the 2 kits, but we dug deeper in the catalog, and that's where we found out about like the walking foot, that they were going to have a walking foot, but I haven't seen that yet. So we'll know
The
more
one
as
thing
this
is
develops.
Bernina is really good at telling you all the features. So there'll be videos on everything that we will all know what all
Yeah.
it does.
So the I'll tell you the exact price. We're selling it for $1,999, and if you're not local, we'll ship it to you.
Yes, we can ship these all
Yep.
over the country.
Yep.
Mechanical machine.
Okay, let's see here.
Yeah, there's no computer.
Yeah,
on
it has like for like back tack. You mean like it's got that quick
It's
reverse?
got needle down, needle up. It's got
Yeah,
manual.
it does have needle down, needle up,
Mhm.
and it does have like that big old
It
reverse.
has a slide for speed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Can you tell them again what machine you're talking about? There's some people just joining.
It's the Bernette 08, the straight
Do you have a
stitch
picture
machine
of it
that
again,
Bernina.
Kaylee, I'll
So,
throw a picture of it back.
I always get confused when people say computerized or mechanical. So there is no touch screen. So I guess it's mechanical, right?
Right. Yeah.
There is no, but I mean, like mechanical, like a treadle, like you have to
No.
powered by a horse, and there is electronics in it,
Right.
right? So
but there's electronics in the Juki too.
right, that's what I
Right,
mean. I don't
yeah.
understand that question when people ask that question.
Right.
I think they mean like, is it simple?
Yeah. It is very simple. You just sat down and you could run it. You know what I
Yep.
mean? You don't have to like read the manual for 5 weeks to figure out how to run it.
Yeah. Let's see here. What else we got?
Did you answer the question about Juki feet fitting on Bernette's?
Do they?
They do.
Are
They
you
do fit. Hey.
Oh, he didn't want to answer that question.
I don't know that they do. I'm sure that the official answer should be no.
They do.
Yeah, just wait until Jake's got to service these things and they're all jacked up.
No, but if you pick the quilting edition one, like I said, your 1/4-inch foot is in there. All your open foot.
So it
is
is
in
pretty
there.
similar, huh?
It's almost exact. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Can you address?
And the only thing is I tried my zipper foot because if you didn't get the sewing one, I don't think the zipper foot was in that. So I just threw my zipper foot on and it fit. So just say it.
And it worked?
It worked great.
This is an unsanctioned.
He's uncomfortable right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Well, I just don't know.
Hey,
How do you reserve
The-
one of them?
The
We got
email.
a couple people
the
wanting to know how to reserve.
Okay. So the best and fastest way is right now, open up another window, go to www.primitivegatherings.us, and on the very front homepage, you will see the picture of the machine. I believe it's still up there. Click on that, order it, and we will give you your number, and you can call and I can tell you what your number is. But we're going to do a similar pre-order to kind of how they did the 990.
Mhm.
I thought that was kind of cool how it's like you pay it, you get your number. And the reason why we want to do, and even though it kind of stinks a little bit to have to pay for it up front, even though we're not going to get them until mid-September, is I feel like we're going to sell a lot of these.
and you want to get it.
And I hope that they're prepared, because if we order 50 of them and they give us 24, I want the people who pay, to ship them out in order. So if you want one of these, and you do, you should go to the website and order it. The other way is to call us down in the Bernina area, and we'll just run you through my iPad, and we'll just get you we have a binder now to organize all this.
Mhm.
So we know the order in which people are paying for them. And then we have a separate list, because you can call and just put a $200 deposit on it and we will order the machine, but just know that we're giving preference to the people who pay for it.
Yeah.
So
That's only fair. I would
Yeah.
think.
Yep.
But only if they call can they put the deposit, because online.
Yeah, to check out, you're going to have to pay the full price, but
Yes.
that's the best way to guarantee that you're going to get one anyways. And that's what most people are doing,
Mhm.
is they're
Getting their spot
yeah.
in line. Yep.
What other questions we have?
Well, I was wondering, can you explain the difference between Bernette and Bernina?
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
wondering why
Yeah.
Bernette.
Why is
Okay.
it not a Bernina?
Yeah, so I get it. So Bernina, and I think this is actually amazing. Bernina will not put their name on anything that they don't directly make in one of their
Switzerland.
or Thailand factories. So when they ever partner with any other companies to make something, which is that's standard, it's pretty common. They'll use the Bernette name, from my understanding. And when I first saw it, I was a little bit disappointed because I thought it'd be cool if it had the Bernina name. However, for those of you who are watching this and you're not local, I mean, our ability to ship these machines makes it actually a lot better.
And it's still Swiss designed, right?
Yeah. So, all the Bernettes are Swiss designed. They just partner with other companies, and that's why I believe I had overheard it. I'll have to double check, and we'll have to look at the box and see the country of origin. But I believe that's made in Japan. I think so.
Okay.
So we'll have to take a look here. But
Does it come with a carrying case?
no.
Not that we know of. We don't know what it comes with.
No, it does not come with a carrying case.
Okay.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So I'm sure they'll make some luggage for it. And I bet the Bernina large trolley, so all of you who have like a 475 or even the 5 series and not the big 7
Would you
series,
have luggage that they could buy for it?
I think we could definitely figure something out. It's going to say Bernina on it instead of Bernette, but
Okay.
Yep.
Do they get loyalty points on machines?
Yes. So we've been talking about that, and
Is it a special loyalty program though?
Yeah, so we are working on that because I think that would be really cool. And we're working on the details of that. So
are there any additional feet accessory kits for free, or do you have to pay for all of the accessories?
So
kits?
the initial launch machine is going to come with your choice of either it's a quilt maker's kit, they call that one, and the other one is like a sewist.
Yeah. So
kit.
if you're a bag maker and you want like the leather things and
So-
stuff like that, that'd be the one I'd
and
get,
you-
the sewist one. But if you're a quilter, you'd get the quilt one.
And it's pretty well equipped. I mean, I think you'd
And
be
I'm sure
fine.
you can buy both.
You can buy them for
Mhm.
sure, but you want to take advantage of, this machine is launching. Bernina does the gift with purchase deals, right? And that's where, like last year with the 790, you got the luggage and the embroidery inspiration box
Mhm.
and a bunch of, you got the maxi hoop. So their little bundle is your choice of either the quilt maker feet set or it's like the sewist. I
Mhm.
forget the name of that
Yeah.
one. I was more excited about the quilt maker. That's the one I was like, this is the one I think.
Yeah,
most people
well, yeah,
would
because
choose.
it comes with the 1/4-inch foot.
Yeah,
It comes
yeah.
with the open foot for triangle paper.
Yes.
Yeah, everything that you need.
Yeah.
And like I said, it has beautiful feel to when you're sewing. That really is nice. One more question, Jess?
I was gonna say maybe we could do Bernina, a Stitch Brothers on just the straight stitch one on the 9th when we return from.
Mm-hmm. Or what are we doing on the 2nd?
Kaylee's not here.
Oh, okay.
I saw
neither
right
is
here,
Heidi, so-
you don't see a way to put if you want to put the $200 deposit
have to
down, you
call.
have to call us downstairs.
And there are people
Barbara,
down there.
yeah,
right now.
Barbara's right now. You can call this number and we'll take your information and get you on the list. I mean, if you think this is something that you want, I mean, there's going to be more details as we learn more about it. Like I said, if you're local, we have one here and we
Yeah.
have like one of 12. So if you want to come and play on it, I'd love to show you the machine. Stop in, call
it
and make an
comes with this
appointment.
Huge table.
Yeah.
That table is almost like 18 inches wide.
And we'll learn more about it as well. But we're expecting them in mid-September. All right, what else?
Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well, I hope you guys like today's show. If you are local, stop in Little Chute and visit Rachel Ann at her quilt shop. And we have some other prizes here. But I do want to give you another reminder about our mini quilt of the month. So this was number 1. This was number 2. And number 3 just went out on Monday. So this is number 3. These are $5 downloads right now. And
Just that one.
this one is $5. These are now $12. If you buy them in the month that they release, they're only $5. So please jump on there and support us and buy that for you. And we love seeing if you make them just like us, or if you put your own little spin on it in the Stitch with Lisa Bongean Facebook group, please post. I love, when I can't sleep at night, I go there and I'm like, love, like, yeah, because I love seeing what you all do there. And you are so inspirational to everybody who may be working on the same thing you are, or maybe want to see how you interpreted that mini quilt. So we are going to get a list of all the things that are going on here at Primitive Gathering, so you won't miss anything. The mini quilts release on the 23rd of each month. So if the 23rd lands on a Saturday or Sunday, we move it to the next working day, because we want to be here when they launch, so we know if there's any problems with anything. And you all been great about understanding that. All right, so I think that's it for today. Thanks for coming on. Give a applause for Rachel and her business there, and for coming with us. And our winners today are Brenda B, Cabbage Hill Studio, and Pamela Thompson. You are all winners of Heidi's Prize Patrol. We'll give these to her so she gets you out a prize for today. And thanks for joining us here. And remember, Comment Sold is coming up next. Bye now, everyone.